Battlefield 5 has one of the most rewarding sniping experiences that I've ever encountered in a video game, but more on that later. I was allowed to record the Battlefield 5 Grand Operations pre-game briefing, and that is what I want to share with you first.
In Grand Operations, up to 64 players will battle across multiple maps, modes, and several in-game days. Today, you will play the first 2 days of the Norway Grand Operation, where the British forces are attempting to reclaim Narvik from the German occupation. Day 1 of this Grand Operation takes place in the Narvik Harbour, where you will experience Battlefield 5's new game mode, Airborne. Come on, move! As the attacker, you will parachute down into the battlefield, where you need to locate crucial explosives and work with your squad to plant them on the German artillery cannons. Take out as many cannons as you can before the day is over. As the defender, you'll need to ensure the artillery cannons stay intact. Use towed anti-aircraft cannons to shoot down the enemy carrier airplanes, and make sure to build defenses. Equip the build tool and look for locations where fortifications can be created. Set up sandbags, machine guns, tank blockers, and barbed wire. Let's finish it off. During Day 2, the battle will continue in Narvik. Armies will clash in breakthrough mode, where Allied reinforcements attempt to capture all sectors from the defending team before the day is over. To capture a sector, you need to secure and hold all the flags available within that sector simultaneously. Make sure that all flags remain under your control and suppress all enemies until there is nothing left of their attacking force. Playing as a squad will increase your chances to win battles. Be sure to stay close to your teammates to receive swift medic and ammo support. And if that is not enough, you can always loot killed enemies or visit the resupply stations to fill up on ammunition and health. To further increase the capability of your team, tow powerful weapons to reinforce your position. As you enter the world of Battlefield, you will be able to choose between various classes with different kits that have their own unique playstyle. Today, you may pick and try out the following: Assault, Grenadier archetype; Medic, Field Surgeon archetype; Support, Engineer archetype; Recon, Sniper archetype; and finally, the exotic machine gunner from the support class. If running on foot isn't your style, you can spawn into a variety of different vehicles, such as tanks and airplanes, by selecting them from the deploy screen. Try to work together to avoid getting squad wiped. If you're the last squad member alive, get to cover and wait for your squad to reinforce you before running into the next engagement. We have controller cards at each station, so make sure to have a quick look at the controls before jumping into battle. If you have questions or need help, there are members from the development team available to assist you with the game. Grand Operations is our most intense multiplayer experience ever. Enjoy the dynamic battles and stay on your toes as you fight your way through an intense journey in the Second World War.
From here on out, they lead you to your gaming PCs, where you will be fighting for victory at EA Play. I wasn't allowed to capture the footage, but I discovered a lot about Battlefield 5, and that I will share with you now. Later in the video, I will show you how you can get an advantage even before you play your first game. Let's start with the weapons, gear and the specific items that belong to each class. These weapons will be your starting weapons in Battlefield 5 when you play on the German side. For the Assault class, you will get access to an STG-44 and an Irma Maschinenpistole as your primary weapons. The STG-44 is a German selective-fire rifle developed during World War II. It is known as the MP43 or the MP44. The German Irma Maschinenpistole, also known as the MPE, was produced by the Irma factory. This gun was produced from 1931 till 1938 and used domestically by the SS. Your secondary weapon is a P38 pistol. The Walter P38 is a 9mm semi-automatic pistol that was developed by Karl Walter as the service pistol of the Wehrmacht at the beginning of World War II. It was intended to replace the costly Luger P08. For now, all of the German classes start with the same handgun, but this might change in the future. As an assault player, you will have the option to equip a stick grenade, sticky dynamite and the Panzerfaust 100. This is a rocket launcher which can be used to take out tanks, but shooting at infantry works out fine as well. The medic class has access to the Gewehr 43 and the MP40. The Gewehr 43 or Karabiner 43 is a 7.92 x 57mm Mauser caliber semi-automatic rifle developed by Germany during World War II. The MP40 or the Maschinenpistole 40 was a submachine gun, chambered for the 9x19mm Parabellum cartridge. The medic class has access to a smoke grenade, a medical syringe, bandage pouches and a medical crate. The support class starts out with the Bren gun. It is a light machine gun made by Britain in the 1930s. The Bren light machine gun was very heavy, at approximately 10.3 kilograms or 23 pounds. An incendiary grenade can be used by this class together with an ammo pouch and an anti-tank mine. The Scout class has access to the Kar 98K, a weapon that most of us know from PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. The Karabiner 98 Kurz is a bolt-action rifle, chambered for the 7.92 x 57mm Mauser cartridge that was adopted on the 21st of June 1935 as a standard service rifle by the German Wehrmacht. The Scout class can use stick grenades, a spotting scope, a flare gun and a spawn beacon. The spawn beacon still works after your entire squad is wiped. It probably stays in the game until it is destroyed or until you place a new one, because I spawned in right after my entire squad was killed and I entered the game right behind enemy lines. I didn't know who to shoot first. It was very clear that they put in a lot of work on improving the experience when you decide to play as a sniper. Everything feels better compared to Battlefield 1. The sound effects are awesome when you fire a bullet at your enemy's head. The bullet speed feels just right, which is great if you want to make long range kills. Leading your target feels natural as well. I was constantly hitting my target, so there was no adjustment necessary. The magnification is good enough for most kills and it is even possible to make short range kills with this weapon. Swapping to your pistol was quick and easy as well when you didn't finish off your enemies with your sniper rifle. The spotting scope seems to be one of the most useless items in Battlefield 5, so I think it is best to try it out once and then swap it for something else. And I'm sure that you're familiar with the flare gun and the spawn beacon. There is a small delay that I will never like in any game, and that is when you zoom in on your target, but that's the way it is. When I went through the settings, I noticed that you can add player created content to the game, meaning that you can create your own stuff, but you can also turn this option off for what I presume is a minor performance boost. The crosshair color can be modified similar to what you can do in Battlefield 1. The original map size is way too small and unusable, but we can improve that, like I showed you in this video for Battlefield 1. I will link it in the video description as well. You can change the map size up to 200%, and thanks to a lovely lady who allowed me to take one picture, it looks like this. Now, I know that this is way too big, and I still have to search for the optimal settings, but you now know that you can still take advantage of this setting. So keep it in mind and remember to change it when you first launch Battlefield 5 for yourself. You can also adjust the on-foot zoom radius and the level of zoom for when you're in a vehicle, for example. All the games that I played here were in 1440p. I couldn't see the frame rates, but the performance was impeccable. No stuttering and no noticeable drops in the frame rate when there were a lot of explosions going off around me. The field of view can also be altered, and you can select a field of view of 64 all the way up to 120 for that ultimate fisheye effect. A few other options were the chromatic aberration and the ability to apply film grain if you're into that kind of stuff. This was everything that I discovered so far playing Battlefield 5. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the battlefield.